chosen one!
Welcome to the Chosen One. On this episode of Meta Spotlight, we are looking at MOAB 2025. This is a GT held in Australia. This is going to be a home of the Red Mandos. And right off the bat, we're looking at the top eight. We got Jason Gemmel, eighth place. He's rocking a Cassian Leia list, and then he's playing full Mandos. Armor, Paz, Vizsla, Covert, Mando, Bo-Katan, Clan Kreese, Mandalorians. Very good list still. It's kind of like that breakpoint entry list where this is just a all-comers list. The weakness of this list is in Bo-Katan, Kreese. The Clan Kreese Mandalorians are a little tad squishy, and Armor and Paz has to be played right, but the full list still can work. Then it's Andor with Ezra, Baze and Turret, and then Leia, Luke, and Han and Chewie. This is something that I've been wanting to attempt is Baze, Turret, and Han and Chewie on the board at the same time. Sounds ridiculously scary. So all in all, very good. Taking Sabotage. We're seeing a lot of Andor players take Sabotage still. Mandos love Sabotage. Mandos love any map that isn't, as long as it has a ton of elevation with no ingress, Mandos are great. Oh, Pacto 87. Again, full Mandalorians here. And then this time he's playing Iden Grand Inquisitor. This is kind of the standard when it comes to seeing Iden. We're seeing her paired with Grand Inquisitor a lot, or Vader. It's just again standard full Iden box, which has been the norm lately, and then Grand Inquisitor, Boba Fett, and Fifth Brother. Boba Fett again seeing more play. Boba Fett has kind of risen as this good tech piece in Empire, and if you're playing Empire, you should be playing Boba Fett. Boba Fett really brings a lot of control and a lot of strength right now in the current game state. Again, full Mandalorians. Same thing, just kind of an all-comers list again, taking Sabotage. No surprise there. Luca, we got Mando, Leia, Kanan, and Cassian, which his list looks like is we got Leia, Lobot, Bartu, Mando, Luke Skywalker, Daring Hero, Han, Chewie. This is an interesting. It looks like he's going with the full Scoundrel Shell. Kanan, Sabine, Rebel Commandos, Andor, Ezra Bridger, Baze, and Churro. And he's played this one, Never Tell Me the Odds. And it looks like it is a 2x2. It is a Kanan with Cassian, and then it is a Leia Mando. Definitely a good setup. Leia Mando is still a very strong double revenge list that can play into some other things. Then we got Andrel, rocking full Empire here. So we got two full Empire lists in top 8. And what we've been seeing from full Empire lists is that they've been kind of playing this Grand Inquisitor, Obi-Wan, Fifth Brother. So the Obi-2 is something that some lists are playing if they have like access to a force refresh. I think is the right call. I think Obi-2 allows you to hit some breakpoints and math defensively against things like boss or anything that gets too aggressive. Again, we got the full Iden box, Moff Gideon box as well, and then Krennic, Darth Vader, Fallen Master, and Death Troopers. This is something that I've been seeing a lot of play, shifting priorities. Vader does not like big maps. You want to keep the Vader 3 on shifting or sabotage, or he can be impactful. The bigger maps, he kind of can't get to places, and it can really hurt him. Overall, it's a standard for, say, mix and match Empire strategy. And this is what we've been seeing Empire do lately is sometimes they'll be in a 2x2, but a lot of the times the Empire that makes Top Cut is a mix and match list where you can flex multiple pairings. Jeff Galea, it's, same thing. This is a full Empire list. And it's, Iden with Inferno Squad, Gideon Hask, Shore Troopers, Grand Inquisitor, DTE, Fifth Brother, Darth Vader, Emperor Servant, Stormtrooper Sergeant, Death Troopers, Moff Gideon, Boba on contract. Again, we're seeing Boba Fett here. Boba Fett is a strong piece. Dark Troopers, and played this on shifting. So the interesting thing here is that he's playing Shore Troopers instead of ISF. ISF are really good damage dealers, but they're not the best at holding points or shoving people off points. They have to get the kill. So really it is pick your poison if you want to run them. I think Shore Troopers are a very good shout. They are very good. Iden and Gideon themselves are just solid enough by themselves. Gideon is kind of this piece that can go on a point and dare your opponent to go after him. He has a revenge trigger. He's actually fairly good at shoving people off the points. I make a lot of comparisons that his activations are going to be very similar to Agent Callus. So he's going to be able to knock bodies off a point. Very cool. More Empire. All right, so we got Josh, the Revanchist Parks. He is running the Andor, Leia, Kanan, and Jin. Looking pretty standard here. We got Andor with Ezra, Baze and Chirrut, Leia, K2SO, ISB agents. I like to shout with ISB agents. That's pretty cool. Instead of like Bar 2 or anything. Kanan, Sabine, Pathfinders. Jin, Bodhi, Rook, Han, and Chewie in it for the money. Interesting thing here. He's not playing Rebel Commandos. I've been seeing a couple lists not do this, where they're playing Pathfinders instead, and I'm starting to see a trend. I think Commandos are really strong, but Commandos go down way easy, and if they get dropped turn 1, they become a unit that ends up being a liability later in your game because they get removed from the table. And there is no other character in the game right now that is more easily susceptible to getting one shot right before they can even activate than Rebel Commandos. Pathfinders actually have been seeing a tiny bit more play, and there have been some people that have switched to the Pathfinders because they are a mobile kit and they're much more about that mobility. So it's an interesting shout. Sabotage Showdown. Again, we're seeing Sabotage being like the big popular map. We got, and then in second place, we got Adam Payne. Running again, full Rebels, Kanan, Jin, Cassian, PLC. Rebels holding it up in Australia. So again, it's the Andor based turret with Ezra, Kanan, Callus with the Pathfinders, Leia, Charming the Last, Luke Skywalker Daring Hero, on Chewie, so full Leia box, Jin with K2SO, and Lando Bartu. I do agree that when you're playing K2SO, you should be pairing him with Jin, as he becomes a very heavy force activation later in the game. Also, his trigger, his revenge trigger, when he goes down, he can jolt Jin up the board, which is really important because Jin needs to be in the fray, otherwise he's not doing hardly anything. Again, no Rebel Commandos. We're seeing this Pathfinders trend, and I wonder if this is going to be something that's going to be trending going forward. I think it could be. The Rebel Commandos just seem that they go down way too easy in the current meta, and having a bit tankier bodies is probably not a bad idea. And they still bring output. They still do, 3 damage on 2. They just don't have any shoves, but sometimes the defense and the scale and the positioning power that the Pathfinders bring are good. Sabotage Showdown again being taken. And in first place, we got Red Mando 1. And he was playing Full Republic. He's a 2x2. So it's got Obi-Wan with Kieta Mundi and then Andor with Kanan. Very, very solid lists. It's Obi-Wan with Shock T501st, and then the Mundi side of that list is Mundi Rex 212. This is perfectly fine to do if you're playing Obi-Wan as a 2x2. Putting him with Shock T and then you have diceless displacement on both sides of your board is a very solid strategy. If Kenobi were more to my style and were to do a 2x2, I would be doing something similar. But I don't play a lot of General Kenobi, so Captain Cassian Andor with Sabine, Baze, and Turret, and then Kanan, Ezra, Rebel Commandos. So Red Mando 1 opting to keep the Rebel Commandos compared to a lot of the Stormtroopers that we've been seeing, but this is pretty standard for an Andor Kanan list. It is interesting that he's going Sabine over Callus, but it makes sense having the extra tactic to move people around, so you have a lot more maneuverability to the list. Really gets Kanan, Ezra to where they need to be. So nothing wrong with that. Again, Sabotage Showdown. I think Sabotage is definitely the favorite map here. There are some cool things happening here. Boss did not show up in Top Cut at all. This was a lot of Mandalorians and a lot of kind of just a mix of stuff here. More Mandalorians got into Top Cut in this event than a lot previously, so it's cool that Mandos are still kind of able to hang on in there. The big thing though is Empire is still somewhat of a viable list, but Rebels are still kind of the dominant thing. Overall, cool event. Looking forward to see what happens next. Thank you for watching this episode of The Chosen One. If you'd like to watch the next video, you can watch the one in the link above. And if you want to listen to the podcast, you can listen to the playlist below. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you for your support. Please like and subscribe.